guys, it's Gail with Gail Southern Living. Welcome to my garden tour Thursday. So I plan on doing a gardening tour every Thursday, at least starting in April, to show you my garden. So some new additions to the garden. I have a new garden arch. I actually ordered 2. I should have some marigolds and moonflowers growing off of that one. This one over here, I'm going to try to grow loofah. I may also add some marigolds in this area because, you know, my loofah growing is not like the best. So this is going to be my garden tour for March. This is going to be an amazing gardening year for 2025. Let's see what I have growing for this year. Had a little bug pressure in this area last year. I believe I had a pumpkin here. So I actually planted some garlic here. I got the garlic from Simply Jan Homestead. This bed was actually purple. Replaced it with this one. It was a little bigger, so I've had to fill in some spaces. But in this bed is just garlic this year because we're trying to ward off the bugs that were here last year by planting things they don't like. So this is one of my garlic beds. All right, in this raised planter, I have quite a bit of lettuce going. And I just have a variety of different lettuces. Some red, all different varieties. I actually like to mix my varieties of lettuces because I love to have a mixed salad with different kinds of lettuce. So I should have a salad in a month or 2. I can't wait. It'll be so awesome. So down over here on this end, I believe that one might be a radish. I pulled these up originally and it said it was an amaranth. I pulled it up again on the Google Lens today. It told me it was a calendula or tobacco. Well, since I didn't plant tobacco, we're going to go with this might be calendula. What do you guys think? Do you think this might be calendula? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I also have some amaranth planted here. Loves bleeding amaranth. That might even be it right there. There's some tiny, I don't know if you can even see it from this view, but there's a bunch of things coming up here. Some of them are just super tiny. All right, this will be my future tomato bed. So in the pots, I have basil. Down here on the end, I planted some scallions. I have not planted the tomatoes yet because I'm waiting for the basil to come up. So this right here should be basil in this pot. If it gets big, I may transplant it. This is a basil that I actually bought. It's not coming up here. And then on the very end here, I have some dark purple basil. I just want to make sure I keep my tomatoes protected. This is actually going to be a survival seeds update as well. These 5 black pots here, I have planted corn. And that was my 7th seed for the survival seeds. I believe I have some flowers planted in this blue pot in the front. These 3 pots here, I put some papaya seeds I got from the IBG seed swap. If they get bigger, I will up pot and transplant them later. But I just want to see if I can get the seeds up first. I have some marigolds in the blue pot, some basil, and one other herb, but I don't have it labeled, so I'm not exactly sure which one it is. We'll Google Lens it later. So I do have beets up. I did have trouble with fungus gnats. I've been adding cinnamon to the surface every day or every other day to keep down the fungus gnats. I actually mix cinnamon and cayenne and sprinkle that in different beds. So I have in front of it basil and marigolds to hopefully protect these beets. My survival seed herbs are up in this section. I have marigolds, oregano, lemon balm, and several other herbs here. I had a little trouble with my labeling this year, so we'll have to wait until these plants come up before I know exactly what all of them are. This is another bed of beets. And I have these stairs that were part of our trailer, our camper thing. So I decided to line them up with pots. So I think I got basil and marigolds and several other herbs growing here. I did see some bug pressure in this container, so I'm not sure if anything will come up. This is my Malabar climbing spinach. And in this one, I believe I have some carnal climbers in the back and some radishes, I believe, are on the front there. This is some of my hyssop, and I do have some coming up there. I believe there's some fungus gnats tried to eat on the hyssop as well, but I'll throw some more seed in there. It'll be fine. A couple of pots of protective plants. This is my parsley bed. This is pretty much going to retire in 2025. We're going to get a new container and transfer this dirt into another container at the end of this year, which is really sad because parsley will grow in the winter, but we're going to basically stop it at the end of this year and transfer this dirt into another section. So I have cucumbers on the front and radishes on the front and cucumbers on the back. So those are my radishes that are up, and they are meant to protect my cucumbers that will grow up on the climbing wall. In the middle of that, I have a whole tub of marigolds that were meant to protect the cucumbers. Same thing here, cucumbers in the back, radishes on the front. So that's what's coming up here is radishes. And I believe I'm going to put another protective type plant right here on the other side of the cucumbers, because I do seem to have bug pressure with cucumbers every year. This is where I planted my survival seeds onions, but I don't see any up. I do have a couple of garlic in here that I threw in this bed, but I don't believe that the survival seeds onions are up. I did plant some radishes right in there in that section. This is my baby pool of zinnias. So I put 2 packs of zinnias in here, and I believe I added some of the candy striped zinnias as well. So this should be a pretty full section of zinnias. This orange tote here has some red kidney beans. And this new bed I have here has mullein in it. I have a lot of protective plants, herbs and flowers. I have some, let me just show you what it is. He, she, co bunching onion. I got that from the IBG seed swap. And I'm planning on planting some dwarf tomatoes in this raised bed here. So I got it ready. Then I kind of misplaced my seeds somewhere. So, but those are going to get planted today. I have a bunch of pots here. I put it on a piece of wood to keep the ants out of the containers, hopefully. So these are recently planted. They're definitely not up yet. So in this bed, I usually have dill and ground cherries down on that side. So to make sure I would get more dill and more ground cherries, I planted some dill, plus it dropped its own seed. So there's a bunch of stuff coming up there, and I'm really seriously hoping that that is dill and not weeds. And down there on that end, I planted a few more ground cherries, though they will probably come up on their own, and I planted some basil marigolds in the middle just to keep the critters away. Okay, this is where I usually plant my squash, but I had some vine borers here last year, so I decided to put the garlic from Simply Jan Homestead in this section. I planted them, I believe it was back in October, and so the garlic is doing really well. So this bed will be taken up with garlic for a couple of years, and looks like I'm going to have some really nice garlic. This bed was brand new last year, and I did have some squash bugs in this bed. So I decided to put some of that garlic from Jan in there. You can see these are going to be some pretty good sized garlic here. I also put some radishes and maybe a couple of marigolds in here as well, because we're trying to run the critters off when they wake up for the year. So this bed is taken up with garlic as well, but I should have a really good harvest of garlic. But I'm going to let it grow through this year, harvest just a few, and save the harvest to get nice and big for next year. And hopefully I'll have some garlic scapes soon. Okay, this is one of my Mammoth sunflower sections. Should have about 4 varieties of sunflowers. Right next to that, I have some nasturtiums, basil, and marigolds to protect the plants. That small bed next to it, I'm actually going to plant some roselle there, but I haven't done it yet. I've just been working on getting that bed ready and amended and ready for the roselle, which is, I'm doing the paper towel method. All right, in this pink tire, I have some bachelor buttons and some radishes up. Marigolds up in that section. A whole pot of marigolds here. This barrel is full of marigolds. And some nasturtiums in this orange bucket. I put some basil right there in the middle of my squash. So this is going to be my delicata squash, protected by the marigolds. This bed is going to be my butternut squash, also protected by marigolds. And I believe there's a couple of radishes in there as well. And this bigger bed is going to be my zucchini squash, protected by marigolds. And this is pretty much going to be my only zucchini bed this year, so here's hoping they do really well. And these are my evergreen bunching onions, which seems to grow really well in my area of Texas. I had a whole bunch of them last year. And in these couple of pots I have next to the squash are basil and marigolds to protect all the squash in this area. All right, holy sunflower, look at all those sunflowers. A lot of these were volunteers, but I did go through and plant some that I harvested from my own sunflowers, mammoth sunflowers, last year. So this is going to be a combo of volunteers and some that I planted. I also threw a few of the sunflower seeds from Jennifer, Ocean Homestead, in here, and over there in the other section as well. So I should have a ton of sunflowers in this section. Should be pretty full. All right, so over here I have some sedum. That's the green right next to the boot there. I haven't planted anything in the boot yet. The purple and orange buckets, the orange bucket's on its way out. I planted some hyacinth there that I thought could grow up on this fence. There's marigolds, basil. I believe that this green pot here, I think, is chamomile. Like I say, my labeling didn't come out too well this year, so I was hoping to get the sedum seeds over here to these buckets to help, because that bucket is so full. But the sedum comes back every year. My mom has some as well. So I just wanted to share with you guys what I have coming up. And I'll have another updated garden tour probably in a week or two. I just wanted to show you what was coming up so far. So there are things happening in the garden and more things to plant. Still have to plant my Roma tomatoes for survival seeds and my pumpkins, which I haven't decided exactly when I'm going to plant those yet. And my dwarf tomatoes that I received from Carol at Broke but Bountifully Blessed. Thank you guys for watching my video. You guys have a great day. Be blessed. Do something kind, guys. Bye, everybody.